What is data? We often think of data when it comes to diversity and inclusion, when it comes to how we assess diversity and inclusion, when it comes to how we decide what programmatically we should be doing to increase diversity and inclusion. We tend to view data as aggregate social science data. So we are looking for studies to tell us what is it that is going to increase inclusion in a workspace, what is going to increase diversity and inclusion in a particular profession. And I think that, and this is someone who I'm someone who really loves social science research and data and really values and respects it. But I think we have become too married to that concept of data without realizing that there's this other piece of data that we're often missing or glossing over. And that is the data that an individual can share with us about their unique experience and perspective. So, for example, I do work with my clients. One of the areas in which I work with my clients and help them is in generational inclusion. So, for example, I am working with one client right now to put on a program for them on leading across generations. So as I'm doing this, I'm of course looking at all these studies. There have been so many studies done on what the different generations in the workforce are, what their shaping forces were, what are their behaviors resulting from those shaping forces, what are their strengths, what are their challenges. There are generational models that we look to help us better understand the different aged people in the workforce. But we have to be really careful because these categorizations, if we apply them uniformly and try to be formulaic in how we look at the world around us and the people around us, we're actually contributing to our biases. We're acting out of stereotype instead of acting on the facts available to us. So, for example, I can teach a team, okay, this is generally speaking how millennials view the world, and this is why they view the world that way. And I can talk to them about the different things that happened in the formative years of the millennial generation that we see playing out through different behaviors, different strengths, different challenges, different needs, different values. But the thing is, what was happening in the news may have been a really high impact shaping force for one person, but for another person, it may not have been. There might have been some other more powerful shaping force happening in their lives with regard to their own family structure or the crisis or unique challenges that they faced. So it's really important that we create room for the individual's subjective experience and story. And we start to view that as equally valuable data. So in organizations, continue to look at the studies and what it tells us because there's value there, but to not see that as the whole picture, to also then go hand in hand with looking at the social science research data and go and actually find out what is it that the people at your organization, what are their values, what were their shaping forces, what are their needs, what are their strengths. I can promise you there are a number of millennials out there who actually are more akin to traditionalists or baby boomers or Gen Xers in how they view the world and how they behave. And vice versa, there are a number of, for example, baby boomers out there who are much more kind of millennial at heart. So we really need to understand who is it that's in our workplace, what were their unique shaping forces, and of course we can bring to that what the studies illuminate for us, but the studies alone don't give us the full picture. The data also has to include the subjective lived experience of each individual in our team, in our company, and in the workforce.